In the year 1994, there was a movie with Jim Carrey, and this movie was called The Mask. And I think some of you, or most of you who are maybe older than 30, have seen the movie The Mask when you were younger. I remember it was one of my favorite movies. I used to watch The Mask a lot. It was one of those movies where you just keep on watching the movie because you like it so much. I remember that time Jim Carrey was one of my favorite movie stars or actors, with Ace Ventura and Liar Liar. But I remember The Mask was one of my favorite movies. If you haven't seen The Mask, it's kind of like a kid's movie, or it's maybe totally like a kid's movie, but I was a kid at that time, so it's okay. It's about this guy, his name is Stanley Ipkiss. And nobody, he was kind of like a loser at that time, you know. People were making fun of him, didn't really like him a lot. And then he found this mask, and when he put this mask on his face, he would become a totally different person, almost like this magical person who could do all these crazy things. And I remember when I watched the movie, I was always like, keep on the mask. As long as you keep on the mask, I like you. As long as you have this mask on, I approve of who you are. Don't take off the mask. Don't become Stanley Ipkiss. Be the guy with the mask. The reason I'm telling you this story is that's how we feel sometimes around a lot of people. We feel like I'm only accepted when I have this mask on. So in this video, we're going to speak about distance yourself from certain people. If you want to make it in 2023, you have to make a conscious decision, and even if it's people that you have been spending years and years and years with, if these people are toxic, then it might be a good idea. I'm not saying write them off, especially if it's family members or so. I'm not saying write these people off. What I am saying is we have to know in 2023, if we want to do great in business, if we want to do great in relationships, if we want to do great in various areas of our lives, we have to know who to distance ourselves from and who to really connect to. So I want to ask you a question. Do you constantly feel like you want to be alone? You feel like, I don't want to be around people anymore. I'm just getting irritated around people. And I'm not speaking about, you're kind of an introvert, so you need your alone time. That's not what I'm referring to. Let me just say this, the difference between an introvert and an extrovert. People sometimes get that mixed up. They feel an introvert is somebody that doesn't like people, they don't like to go out, they don't like to talk to other people. The extrovert doesn't want to be home alone. The extrovert needs the attention the whole time. And that is not really accurate descriptions. So an introvert is somebody that recharges when they are alone. An extrovert is somebody that recharges when they are with people. So let me use an example. An extrovert will be somebody after a week's hard work, they would be like, I need to spend some time with my friends. I need to go out and do something fun with my friends so that I can recharge. Where with an introvert, they'll be like, I like spending time with my friends, I like doing stuff, but I just need my alone time a bit so that I can energize. Now, we are made for connection. So if you come to a place where you're like, I just want to be alone, I don't want to be around people, people drain me, people irritate me all the time. Okay, that's not a healthy thing. So do you feel like you want to be alone more than what is healthy for you? It's kind of like, I just don't want to be around people. Why does that happen? It's because only the authentic you gets excited. Only the authentic you gets energized. When you are inauthentic around people, it drains you. So this is why many people want to be alone. They want to be alone because they feel like when I'm alone, then I can really be myself. When I'm around people, I have to put on this mask. And people are just tired of putting on this mask. So what am I trying to tell you? For you to be the you that you should be, the you that you are created to be, the you that you are made to be, you have to say, listen, I'm going to spend more time with people that brings out the authentic me, and I'm going to distance myself from people that I have to put on the mask the whole time. In this message, I'm going to deal with a few questions about how to distance yourself from certain people, how to take care of yourself, and how to have connection with the right people. Before I get there, I want to encourage you guys to subscribe to this channel, and I want to encourage encourage you to send this video to other people. Also leave a comment. This helps us to get this video out to more people so that we can help more people. And also we are doing Mindset Matters 2023 in businesses all around South Africa. So no matter where you are, you can contact us if you are interested in knowing more about this. So, what are some of the questions we have to deal with? The first one is, do you feel drained around certain people? Why do I feel so drained around certain people? Now, I'm not always saying it's that person's fault. I want you to understand this, because sometimes you feel like you have to put on the mask. They don't necessarily expect of you to put on the mask. So you have to ask yourself the question, do I put on the mask because that's what I feel I need to do? Or do I put on the mask because I believe that's what they expect me to do? Now, if you have an inner struggle and you feel like you have to put on the mask all the time, that's something that you're going to have to deal with you, because then the problem lies inwardly. The problem doesn't lie with other people. But if you feel like other people are kind of expecting you the whole time to be somebody else and you have to put on the mask the whole time, that will really drain you. So you have to ask yourself the question, who am I? And I think this is a question that many people struggle to answer. Who am I? Who is the authentic me? And only when I'm the authentic me, because the inauthentic, as soon as you become inauthentic, you get drained. And so many people want to be alone because they feel like when I'm alone, I can be myself. When I'm around other people, I have to put on this mask. So do you constantly feel drained when you're around other people? If the answer is yes, I want you to really go evaluate. Is it because of insecurities within me that I have to deal with? Because I feel like I cannot be authentic? Or is it really because of other people? They expect me to be something that I'm not. If it's because of other people, they expect you to be something that you are not. Maybe that's a time to distance yourself from those people and get into the right circles. And again, when I say distance yourself, I don't mean send them a nasty message and break relationship with them totally. I am saying you have to get some people into your life that will help you to bring out the authentic you. So the next question that I want to deal with, why do I continuously go back to certain people that I feel like I need to put a mask on? Because, especially when we look at things like New Year's resolutions, I've asked people like at midnight, I think it was about 20:12, I said, who of you has New Year's resolutions? And who of you has already broken the New Year's resolutions that you have made? And people are like, oh, well, I'll start later. So if one of your New Year's resolutions or just like a resolution or a goal that you have in life to say, listen, I need to distance myself from certain people and I need to spend more time with certain people, because there are certain people that you have to spend more time with. They are good for you, they energize you, they encourage you, and you need to get to those people. But if you are making it your goal and say, listen, I've said over and over, I've said I have to distance myself from these people, but I just go back. If you experience that, that means there can be some childhood hurt. It can be like I didn't get the appreciation or the acceptance from my parents the way I wanted to. So in front of my parents, I always had to put on this mask. It can maybe be with siblings. I didn't get the approval of my siblings. So in front of them, I had to put on this mask. It can be friends. It can be other family members. It can be teachers. It can be coaches, where you felt like, I have to put on this mask to be approved. And it became so part of you that you had to perform to get approval. So your body is now kind of like addicted to that negative emotion. You feel like, I want to win their approval. I want to win their approval. I want to win their approval. So if you constantly feel like you want to win the approval of people, but the authentic you doesn't win their approval, that's an indication that there's internal hurt. You have to work on it. And only when you work on the internal hurt, you will be comfortable to say, listen, I need to distance myself from these people. They are not good for me and I cannot be the authentic me around them. The following few are not questions, it's some statements that I want to make. So the next one is, what do I need to understand? What are some things that you need to understand if you need to distance yourself from certain people? And when I say distance yourself from certain people, I also in the same breath include purposefully interacting with certain people. So the thing we have to realize is we are made for connection. as human beings, we are made for connection. We are not made to be alone the whole time. And you can sit there and like, yeah, I love being alone the whole time. I just want to be alone. Screw everybody else. It's not a healthy way. We are made for connection. And you have to ask yourself the question, but why don't I want to connect with certain people? Is it because of my insecurities, or is it because of the people? If you really work on you, and if you know that you are made for connection, one thing that I'm trusting for all the time is for the right people in my life. That's something that I'm a praying person, and I pray for the right people in my life all the time. So if I ever get this idea, people are draining me, I have to wear a mask in front of them, my default mode is not like, yes, I just want to be alone, screw everybody. But it is, maybe I should connect with some other people. And this message is not to tell you, go break relationships right and left. What I am saying is go sit down and go evaluate. Go evaluate what's going on within you, and go evaluate what is going on within your relationships, because what's going on within you and the relationships that you put in your life has a massive influence on your future. And another statement I want to make on that point is, it's not about having plenty of people in your life. So the goal is not like I have to have all these masses. Albert is now saying I have to connect with people. I need all of these masses of people in my life. But what I am saying is you have to have certain people in your life. You have to have the right people in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lot of people. I consider myself as somebody that has a lot of friends, and because I'm an extrovert, I get along with a lot of people. But I always question this thing is like, but who are the people that are really really close to me, that I can really be the raw, authentic me, and it still energizes me to be around them. And there's not a lot of those people, to be honest. But I am really thankful that I have some of those people in my life, and it's very important to identify them. And like I say, you have to purposefully spend time with those people. The next one I wanna deal with is what authenticity is not. Or let me put it in a question: what is not authenticity? Authenticity is not self-destructive behavior. And what I mean by that is, some people say, I'm addicted to this, I'm angry, I'm just a nasty person, that's authentically me, that's just who I am. No, you are not created to be an addict, and I have all the grace and all the love for anybody that's struggling with anything, but I'm just saying that's not the authentic you. That is not who you were made to be. So when I say authentic, I'm not saying have self-destructive behavior in your life that's destroying you and destroying other people, and just use authenticity as a cover-up to say, well, that's who I am, that's who I'm created to be, that's the authentic me. I'm just going on with that. Now, another thing what authenticity is not, it is not to be different. A lot of people, when they hear authenticity, oh, okay, I have to be different. No, authenticity means to be yourself, because so many people who think about authenticity, they force themselves to be different. So two people can be very much the same. They can think the same, they can like the same things, and they can both be authentic, because it's authentic to both of them. But if you come and you say, like, I'm forcing myself to be different, I'm doing all of these forceful things just to show that I'm authentic and different than other people, that is not authenticity. Authenticity is to be true to the person that you are. Okay, what to do to be the best authentic me, and this is where we're going to end today. What to do to be the best authentic me. So first of all, it's important to take some time alone. It's important to get into your inner chambers, to go take some time alone, to go deal with the inner me, to go look at, like I said earlier, is it my insecurities, or is it something that people really expect me to be? To go deal with the inner you. I think when we look at the mask again, Stanley Ipkiss really had to get to that place where he accepted himself and say, listen, I have to be true to who I am, then I don't have to wear that mask the whole time. So if you are true and say, listen, okay, I have to deal with the inner me, things within me that I have to deal with. And this is an ongoing process. I do this every single morning. I think it's a question that I ask myself every single morning. What are some things that I have to deal with? And what are some things that I want to achieve? Who do I want to be? And then you have to ask yourself the question, who really is the authentic me? What is really me? And I think, through life, we have been shaped so many times that we sometimes get confused. Is this really me, or did other people just shape me to become this? And then finally, when I speak about distance yourself from certain people, it's an important thing to say, listen, certain relationships I've realized is just not good for me, but relationships in general is good for me. Therefore, I have to choose the right relationships. And again, the right relationships will also correct you. And when I speak about authenticity like this, I'm not saying the right relationships will just accept everything of you just as you are. The right relationships will also come and say, listen, you are busy with some self-destructive behavior. You are busy with some things that are not good for you. That's not authentically you. That's not who you created to be. We want to help you to become the best version of you. That is the best people that you can have in your life for 2023. So I want to encourage you, take this message, write some things down that you have to deal with the inner you, answer some of these questions honestly. If you cannot remember the questions, watch this video again, sit with a notebook and a pen, answer some of the questions honestly, and know what you have to work on. And then also figure out who are the people in your life that you can say, like, these people are good for me, they energize me, I have to purposefully spend time with them. These people really train me, and I have to always put on a mask. Thank you so much for watching from Mind Prosperity. We love you, and we'll see you soon again. Goodbye.